ayudaba para cambiar la cosa que dijo la verdad es otra. Usted puede casarse. Ese es el problema, todo ese problema de Schaeffer, que él es el maldito, que él es el que, ese para mí yo no podía entender primeramente, pero después me abrió siempre más los ojos. Y después ya yo me decidí para ello, la chilena. Hasta hoy día yo estoy contenta con ella.
After they married, they left the colony and now live in Germany. With Schaeffer now gone, the sexual abuse came to an end. But the controls and use of drugs by his accomplices to suppress people's will remained as before, more than a decade after Chile had returned to democracy. Schaeffer had disappeared. There were even rumors that he had slipped back into Germany. It wasn't the Chilean police, but Hernan Fernandez, a Chilean journalist, acting on a tip-off in 2005, who tracked down Schaeffer, hiding in a small farm a few hours' drive from the capital of neighboring Argentina. Fearing Schaeffer would be alerted by his contacts in Chile's police and judiciary, they kept the information from the Chilean authorities until the last minute, to allow Argentine police and Interpol to arrest him. When I asked former Chilean President Ricardo Lagos why it had taken a journalist and a lawyer to track down Schaeffer, he denied that his government had been reluctant to go after him.
Because what they built was an state, and a small state within the Chilean state. This is what it was. And to have that and to destroy that wasn't an easy task.
Schaeffer was extradited to Chile, charged with sexual abuse of 25 minors and sentenced to 20 years in jail. With Schaeffer behind bars, the Chilean authorities finally started extensive investigations at Colonia Dignidad. In 2005, they discovered a stockpile of arms, machine guns, grenades, even rocket launchers. And then came the reports that chemical and biological weapons, including sarin gas, had been produced at the colony during the Pinochet years.
Today, even 23 years after the return of democracy, we still don't have all the facts about what happened inside Colonia Dignidad. Some 28,000 files that were found inside, detailing everything that occurred there, are being kept under lock and key here at Police Intelligence Headquarters. So the question is, what is the Chilean state still hiding?
Existió un arsenal de armas químicas que aún existe.
How do you know that?
Aún existe este arsenal de armas químicas por antecedentes recientes, de años recientes, en que se ha dado la alerta que es un peligro para los colonos que viven aún en Colonia Dignidad, porque Paul Schaeffer ordenó mover las armas de guerra que fueron encontradas, pero las armas químicas no han sido encontradas. El gasolín no es una especulación, es una constatación.
Do you think that the Chilean state, that this country will ever really know everything that happened in Colonia Dignidad?
Well, it took so many years. It has been so long, the secrecy and the way that they behave. I don't think that the whole story has been told.
Paul Schaeffer died in 2010 in prison. He left behind a terrible legacy of shattered and destroyed lives, of many unanswered questions. Chile has moved on. It is now a modern democracy, but the transition to that democracy has often been tempered by fear of provoking the still powerful army and activities in Colonia
Native
Dignidad.
Americans had lived on fertile farmlands, stretching across the South for countless generations. However, President Andrew Jackson wanted those lands open for settlement to American farmers. How did Jackson go about doing this?
It's not a welcoming world outside.
During Andrew Jackson's second term, he pressured Congress to pass a bill that would authorize the purchase of Native American lands and require the 5 civilized tribes
In Villa Baviera, there is now a German restaurant and a hotel, both part of an effort to transform this place into a tourist resort, a center for rest and recreation. But for those who lived here through years of torture, abuse, and misery, for those who were killed and buried in mass graves, there is no memorial, placard, or even a sign. It is as though this place is trying desperately not to come to terms with the past, but to erase
It will be recalled that in December
refuse
1946,
to allow that to
the
happen.
General Assembly, by unanimous vote, affirmed that genocide is a crime under international law, which the civilized world condemns, and for the commission of which principals and accomplices are punishable. The draft Convention on Genocide, which is now before this Assembly, is the end product of 2 years of careful and arduous work.
To file a lawsuit against the governments of Chile and Germany.
La demanda persigue dos fines. Un fin monetario, por supuesto, en el sentido de asegurarle que pasen de manera digna el resto de su vida las víctimas de Colombia y Dignidad. Y la otra, por supuesto, que es un
History
fin
is
moral.
filled with tragic chapters of hatred and persecution that have led to mass violence against persecuted minorities. That is why the world must be ever alert to the warning signs of genocide and act quickly and early to avert it.
I do not wish to repeat what's already been said here. My aim today is to share our story in the hope of speaking to the failures in Srebrenica, the lessons to be learned, and our ongoing commitment to honor genocide victims and survivors.
How did we get there? How do we get to the point where an entire nation is chanting, "We will exterminate you"? There was a collective failure, but I think we have a chance for collective response in a positive way to change what has
What
happened.
had been going on at the colony.
After the Holocaust, the world seemed eager to find a more cooperative path. The founding of the United Nations was one expression of that moment. UN Charter, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the Genocide Convention enshrined the commitment to equality and human rights. And humankind dared to believe that tribal identities would diminish in importance. We were wrong.
Nearly all the settlers of Colonia Dignidad kept their German nationality. Many have returned here to Germany and received pensions from the government. Goodwick and Wolfgang lived in the colony for nearly 30
Prevention
years.
is something which
Physical
is
and
key
forced drug abuse
to
left him
make this
severely
world a
disabled.
better place. We have all to
Young
stand up
victims all tell
and
me they
fight
suffer from physical
against these
disabilities
scourges.
from years of forced labor.
The United Nations and the principles that it stands gives us hope that we could do things together in a peaceful way and allow the world to finally put these holocausts behind us.
Que sobrevivieron eso. Lo único que queda es luchar, decir la verdad, luchar para llegar, ojalá, a ese punto que por lo menos la justicia, o sea, la verdad, o sea, la justicia, el juicio, que salga, que nos dan una indemnización.
There are thousands of refugees entering Bangladesh every day. They cross the border of Myanmar, where the state military has launched a violent offensive against an ethnic minority group, the Rohingya. The UN reported that since August 2017, about 400,000 Rohingya men, women, and children have fled their homes in Myanmar's Rakhine state. Reports claim that the military has been killing and raping the Rohingya and has set their villages on fire. Satellite imagery showing burned villages confirms those reports.
Because Myanmar has refused access to human rights investigators, the current situation cannot yet be fully assessed, but the situation remains or seems a textbook example of ethnic cleansing.
The term ethnic cleansing has been reserved for some of the worst